Greetings and welcome back. So, kind of a news of the day type thing for today. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you that are on the Canadian side of the border, and for people on the American side of the border, I guess it's Columbus Day. Holidays basically it's an excuse to have turkey and go shopping. As far as I can tell, every holiday is about buying mattresses and trucks. So, what better way to show somebody you care about them than going, look, I bought a new truck. No, it's for me. I don't have a truck. Anyways, Sandin was loaned to the Marlies by Toronto today, and Kevin Gravel's been called up. Rasmus Sandin has not been playing a prominent role with the Leafs, and I think he's the kind of guy who needs to be playing top 4 minutes in order to be most effective. And so it makes total sense to me that he'd go down to the Marlies where he'll get that time. Now, loan to the Marlies, loan can be a week, it could be a month. We'll see, but he will be back up at some point soon. This kid looked really good in the preseason. Now, Hjalmarsson is apparently out 3 months with a cracked fibula, which sounds exceedingly painful. So, him being out for 3 months absolutely affects the blue line for the Arizona Coyotes. He's a very underrated defensive defenseman. I think where Hjalmarsson's underrated comes from is that, for those of us old enough to remember, when he was, given this huge contract by San Jose with the idea of stealing him and whatnot, he ended up being somewhat overpaid at that stage, but he is a very, very solid defenseman, and Arizona's going to miss him for a few months. It's going to test their blue line's depth. Speaking of depth, the New York Islanders have placed Casey Cizikas on the injured reserve list with a lower body injury, and they've called up Wahlstrom. So for Wahlstrom, he may get into the lineup, especially if Eberle, who appeared to be kind of hobbled at the end of that Florida game the other night, if he misses any time, and we haven't heard that he necessarily will, but that could put Wahlstrom not just in the lineup, but in a pretty prominent role. So all the best to him. In Vancouver news, Markstrom's been granted a family matter leave from the team. He's expected to be back this weekend. Benning said, I'm not making any other comment. I don't know if this is baby related, but you have to think it's something along those lines, because I can't see there being a family emergency and going, all right, I have a family emergency. I'll just make something up. My dog's in the hospital, fell out of a tree. He should be better by Friday. So just as an example. Because he's expected to be back for the weekend. So they've called up Zane McIntyre. And so they'll have Demko in net. And we'll see if McIntyre ends up getting into net at some point this week as well. But hopefully everything's okay with Markstrom. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Hopefully it's, and if it is a big deal, hopefully it's a baby on the way. Baby boom in the NHL, it would seem. Okay. Senators fans, Nick Paul, Jordan Schwartz, has been recalled. And Bodker will play his second game second game today. He's been a healthy scratch the whole year, and when he did play the one game he was in, he played a grand total of 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Mikhail Bodker is very quickly becoming one of those guys who goes from promising young forward, thinking of when he was in Arizona, Colorado, and now he's just kind of forgotten at this point, and he's a healthy scratch most of the time for the Senators, and when they do play him, they don't play him very much. It's surprising to me, because I thought he still had enough talent to play, I'll say third line for the Senators, but here we are. Hopefully he comes through today and forces them to play him a little more often. Your 3 stars of the week were announced about 10 minutes before I started recording this. Connor McDavid's star number 1, Patrick Laine's star number 2, and Sid the Kid, Sidney Crosby, is star number 3. So, it's a very interesting trio. And again, if you go through 3 stars of the week, it's very rare you see somebody get a number 1 star for 2 weeks in a row. So on some level, I kind of look at these and go, okay, so they're not going to have as solid a week this week as they had in the week that led up to them being awarded this. All right, good to know. So there you go. Just a quick little news of the day kind of thing before we get into the action, which starts in about 40 minutes time. So there's a lot of early games today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.